Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tales from the Crit. I'm your host, James Allen, and thought it would be cool to, make this little voiceover here for my channel, the Fit Focus Podcast. Thought it'd be fitting to drop one of the races here to kick off the season and relaunch my podcast. So before we really jump into the details of the race, I wanted to give a special shout out to my team, the Velo, operating out of the Velo Ambassadors, operating out of the Velo in Central Phoenix. A special shout out to my dude, Chris Schiffauer, for the picks, and to everyone that came out to support and watch. It was cold, and we appreciate you. So for this particular race, I wanted to make it more of an introduction for those that don't know anything about criterium racing, or as a cyclist call them, crits for short. A criterium for the layperson is like NASCAR on a bike. There's 6 different levels or categories that separate the cyclists by their experience and ability. Cat 5, that's the beginning level. That's the race that I'm in showing you here today. Typical speeds in the Cat 5 are anywhere from 20 to 23 miles per hour on average, with a few sprints in between for prizes. We call them preems. I think it's short for premiums. Race time is generally about 30 minutes. Upgrade to the next level, Cat 4, is based on either 5 finishes in road races, crits, or clinics, or 10 points collected in a 12-month period, right? And you get points from just doing different races. Cat 4, that's the next level up. Typical speeds in the Cat 4 race are anywhere from 23 to 27 miles per hour on average, with a few sprints in between for cash prizes or merchandise prizes. Race time for a Cat 4 race is generally about 30 to 45 minutes, and upgrading to the next level is based on either 20 points in a 36-month period or 20 pack finishes. 3 grand fondos or gravel events will count towards the total. 30 points in a 12-month period, or 3 wins with 21 plus people in the race within a 12-month period. So I'll drop some more upgrading details in my next race video. I don't want to bore you with the details, so on with the race here. So kicking off this season with one of the best races in the Valley here in Arizona, Valley of the Sun Stage Race. This series is 3 races over 3 days. We got a time trial where you go as fast as you can from point A to point B. Day 1 is a 10-mile time trial. And time to complete that time trial is anywhere from 21 to 31 minutes, 10 miles. Day 2 is a 46-mile road race for the Cat 5 and Cat 4. Finish times are typically around 1 hour, 56 minutes to 2 hour and 18 minutes for that 46 miles. And then here we got the criterium. Each category has a different time to complete. For Cat 5, it's 30 minutes, first one across the finish line. So there are different age levels of age categories broken down as well. So for the Cat 5, the options given to complete in a choice of races, 3 days is a real big commitment. So if you're not sure about racing or other commitments such as work, etc., I chose to do the Cat 5 crit this year, 50 plus men's category. For this race, the official combined field was 40 plus and 50 plus age riders, right? So here we go, on with the race. It kicked off at 7 a.m., super cold, brisk 55 degrees. And, the first mistake of this race for me really was not warming up. I was shivering from the start, left my muscles not ready to fire when I needed, lesson learned. But here we go. Rounding the corners, trying to keep up with the pack here. Just before that, we had one of those premiums where my dude Brody, he's racing for out of heavy pedal. He took that premium, and after the group, just kind of took off there. I said, all right, I'm cold. I know I need to warm up. I'm a one-hitter quitter. I got one in the chamber for the sprint. So I'm saving mine up for the sprint here at the end. So I'm just kind of managing my time. Luckily, I had a teammate in this race. Shout out to Uncle Luke Parker, SMS, Saturday Morning Service, group ride leader. He also races with the Velo. But Luke just had a conversation with me real quick before. He's like, hey, so I'm a wheel. I'll lead you out at the end. I'm guaranteed the podium either way. I said, cool. Because Luke had done the time trial and the road race before, and so pretty much secured his spot on the podium for his age category. So for me, it was just his race. And so just to kind of give you some details, you can see up on the board here, kind of the stats and the speeds that we were going, power levels, shifting. And, right now we're just kind of cruising it. We just had the premium, I believe. Our race is about 9 miles, or like I say, roughly about 30 minutes. So we're just kind of like, filling out rounding corners and what have you. The idea is that you want to, hit the apex on the corners, so you start wide and cut the corner real close, on the inside there. Generally just kind of maintain your speed. You don't want to hit your brakes too much, during the criterium, because that really just wastes a lot of energy, right? Because you hit your brakes and then you're trying to speed up. So the idea is really just kind of like, get in the pack and just jump on the wheel and hold that draft on that wheel. This particular race, we only had about 10 riders, I want to say. So not real big. Putting this out again here too, right? Just to get more people, a little interested and comfortable. Like I said, Cat 5, typically there's not going to be a big field of riders, right? But, racing is really a good way to test yourself and test your abilities and kind of see how you're progressing, with cycling. If you like it, I'm a big advocate of competing. Right? That's the way you're going to see how you are evolving in your sport, whether it's cycling or if you're trying to go for a physique transformation or whatnot. Compete with yourself, above all. But when you get out there and you kind of like, start pushing yourself with others, it really kind of gives you an extra bar, to reach for. That's my dude Brody right there. I do ride with him sometimes during the week, different group rides or whatnot. He's racing in the 40 plus category for heavy pedal. Just kind of jumped on his wheel there. Like I said, at this point, I'm really just kind of managing efforts and not really gunning it, so much. Again, just kind of warming up and, staying in the pack. So we're circling, hitting different corners or whatnot. We're on the straightaway right now. I think on one of these pieces, I hit a bump and my seat actually tilted forward a little bit. Might have been right about there where my seat kind of tilted forward. And I was like, well, I'm in the race now. So, I can't make a pit stop to adjust my seat. But this is what I was talking about. Swing wide, cut the apex on the corners there. We're going wide again to hit this next stretch, which is the stretch that leads out, to the final turn for the finish line. But again, we're just kind of like, relaxing. We're about halfway into the race right now. So it's really just, kind of chill mode, right? Again, just managing efforts. Cruising at about, 21 right now. Like I said, not really, putting out any big substantial pieces there. I think I drifted back just a little bit. So I'm kind of pushing the power a little bit just to, get back on the wheel and, get back into a good position to where I don't have to work as much to maintain, spot, right? And I think right up along this little turn here in the road, there was a little bit of a gradient, which, just meant we had to push a little bit more power, kind of coming out in that direction there. So still rolling and hitting some corners. I think at one point there was a homeless person that ended up drifting out, walking across the street there, and almost caused a little bit of a skirmish there. But yeah, we avoided her. She was just kind of doing her thing. So getting through it, still just kind of trucking along. Not a whole bunch happening here until we start going for the preem, right? So you can see my cadence, real steady in a race situation. I got short cranks, right? I'm running about 160 crank arms. So my cadence tends to be a little high, which is actually, for me, works really well because I'm not exerting a whole lot of effort. I do wish I had a bigger chain ring. I think that would, kind of even some things out a little bit there. But, generally shorter crank arms because, I'm short. I'm about 5'6". I'm riding an extra small bike, which actually should be a small for my measurements. Riding the Canyon right now. Hopefully sooner or later I'll upgrade. But yeah, that's the bike I'm rolling with right now. And like I said, crank arms about 160, which generally just gives me a higher cadence. Keeps it comfortable for me though, right? So I'm not really, mashing on the gears and burning my legs out, which, helps a lot. So that's just a little bit on my setup. What else here? Like say, generally like say, calorie count up there too. You can see how many calories I'm burning based upon my heart rate. Not too bad. My guy's waving out his bottle. I guess he's like, ditching it to get ready for, our final sprint. And I'm still just kind of chilling back here because we're not up to the final sprint yet. We're only about 6 miles, into it out of a 9-mile race. So, again, I'm just managing my effort, just chilling in the back, not running, too hard. My heart rate, kind of said I'm about at 161, right now, where if I think back, I was working, quite a bit, simply, again, because I was just cold, right? And it just took me a long time. I don't think I ever really fully warmed up, for this race. My sprint at the end, was kind of lackluster. If I think back on it, I didn't give a full all-out sprint. And yeah, I'm not sure if this was the preem lap or not. I think we might actually went through the preem lap already. But yeah, I'm still just, kind of cruising, hanging in the back there. Again, for a combined field, this is 40 and 50 plus, not a whole lot of guys, right? So again, if you're in Arizona, you're thinking about, racing or what have you, Cat 5, great level to start at. It's not going to be a whole lot of, guys in the races there. Once you start entering like your Cat 4s, that's when the numbers pick up a little bit. Generally everybody's kind of moved from Cat 5 to Cat 4. I did this race last year and we had a few more, but still it was a pretty small field. I got enough points now to upgrade. So my guy Jeevan, shout out to Jeevan over at the Velo. He's been on me about upgrading to Cat 4. So yeah, I guess it's about time for me to go on and dip my toes over there. I got to make sure I get my fitness up too, though, because those dudes are fast. Like I said, average speeds for Cat 4 is generally in that 23, 27 mile per hour range. And I know that the Cat 4s for this race were running about 27 miles per hour on average. So it was a fast race there. This is a fast course too. Some of the pros, just averaging right around 29. So that's just to kind of give you, a little bit of an idea how fast, guys get their speed up to. And like I said, my heart rate's at about 164 right now. We're only doing 20. Yeah, I need to get my fitness up. Just saying. Anyway, we're rolling down here. I think we got about 2 miles to go, left on this here. And yeah, pretty much like NASCAR, right? It's, you just circle in the block, hopefully no incidents, try to keep the crashes and stuff like that to a minimum. I think that's one reason why people, tend to shy away from criteriums too, just because of, things like crashes or whatnot. And unfortunately, sometimes that is a part of the sport. I remember last year, there were quite a few crashes. This year, though, I don't remember hearing of any at all. So, or not in the criterium. There were some crashes during the road race. Unfortunately, I know a few people that did go down. Shout out to Caitlin outside. Hope you heal up well, heal soon. There were a couple other people that I knew from just various rides that I've been in that went down also. Don't know their names, but, well wishes and prayers, and hope everybody, heals up quick, from those incidents here. So right about here at this point, I start looking at, okay, I know we got a couple of miles left, and I will start to move up here, pretty soon. Yep, this is where I started making my move, just to move up and get on my man Luke's wheel, right? Because he said, look for him, he's going to lead me out. So I just kind of inch up there a little bit, because usually at the turns, that's where you can slide in pretty well, because people just, kind of go all over the place when they hit these turns, right? But I just kind of just eased on up. Boom, there's my turn, hit it, jumped on Luke's wheel. Now I'm just cruising. We're starting to pick up the pace here a little bit. See my heart rate up at about 170. That little effort there just to move up and get on Luke's wheel cost me a little bit, but still think I was okay. We're starting around some corners now, and like I said, getting ready to pick it up and go for the final sprint here pretty soon. I'm not sure if it was on this lap or if it's the next one coming up. I think it's the next one coming up. But yeah, see, we're picking it up now, rolling about 23 or so, still just kind of chilling. Navigate the corners. I think at one point, one of the guys tried to, come up and get between, me and Luke here to, get a better position. And, usually when that happens, you just kind of, maintain your position, right? Close that gap. Don't allow too much of a gap between your wheel and the guy in front of you. Generally, if you can keep it to a couple of feet, great. That saves your energy, and helps to, just kind of maintain and keep you in the game. So here we go, round in. Yeah, I think we had one more lap to go. Probably should have cut the sound on here so you can hear all the wind and hear the announcements, from the gentleman announcing the race here. But yeah, note to self, we'll probably do that next time. Anyway, yeah, we're starting to pick it up here. So yeah, this is the final lap. Luke's picking it up a little bit. We bring it up to about 24. So the bell lap. And usually, like, on the last lap, that's where everybody starts, trying to fight for position so that they can, be in a good spot there to hit that last sprint, right? So we're hitting the corner, boom. And I think this is where my man tried to come in a little bit here. Not sure it was here or on the next turn. But I kept it, like I say, just a couple of feet from Luke's wheel. Made sure I was in his draft. Heart rate's picking up a little bit, kicking about 170. Yeah, this is where he came in at. So we see people like now, trying to get into position. And I'm okay with cornering, and hugging the corners pretty well. Yeah, Luke saw him trying to come in there too and just kind of squeezed him out. Brody slipped in there. I left too much of a gap. Brody slipped in pretty well. And now I'm on his wheel, right? So I think this is where I started cooking a little bit here because I'm starting to fall back. I'm like, what's going on? Again, this is where I felt like I just wasn't warmed up enough because drove down, 7 a.m. start, got in kind of late. Got my number and all that good stuff there, probably about 5-10 minutes before the race. Bad on my part. Anyway, here we go. Final lap. We're picking it up now. Getting ready to make the next to the last turn. Brody's in a really good position. I think he's about, 4 from the front. Here we go. Boom. He's making his move. Luke jumped up for the lead out there. Those two guys that were holding up front there, they couldn't hold on. But, yeah, here we go. Here's the sprint. Kicking up about 829 miles per hour. And I was like, man. So at this point, I'm thinking, all right, 50 plus, I'm good. I'll be okay. I got at least first, second, or third. My guy died out, and I was like, okay, let me just go and slip up. And boom, hit it about 30 miles per hour. So where I messed up on this one and just misjudged, since they combined the field at 40 and 50 plus, I thought we were going to be judged separately. So I would have, at least a first or second place on the 50 plus side. And, there would be first, second place, third, or first through fifth there on the 40 plus side. But they didn't. They combined the whole field. Anyway, I ended up finishing fifth out of everybody that raced. We all, stayed upright, which is always a plus. And, that was Valley of the Sun. Lessons learned. Get there earlier. Warm up. Thanks for watching, y'all. That was Tales from the Crit. And, again, support your local bike shops. Support your local racers. And we'll see you again on the flip.